How's it going, everybody? This is Dale from Upstate Bets and DFS. Reoz could not make it tonight, but I'm here with my partner Bubs for the UFC Fight Night here. Bubs is actually going to be attending the next UFC event, which is going to be awesome. Here we got Dos Santos and Fiziev here fighting. A little bit of a not like wild factor card, but some of these lines are pretty close. But we're actually going to mix both of these together. We're going to do our Prize Picks videos, our Prize Picks picks to start off the video, and then we're going to dive into Bubs' betting card. As always, you can find my picks as well as Braxton's picks. For you who may have not know, we do call Bubs also Braxton. That's his real name. But yeah. So over on the Patreon, you can find my picks as well as Bubs picks over there for UFC. Not only do we cover the pay-per-views, but now we're going to be covering the fight nights as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. Ria's been doing his thing for the MLB videos as well as covering MLB over on the Patreon. We have some NBA Summer League stuff about to go up over there as well. So hop in over on the Patreon if you wish to support us a little bit further. It's $10 a month. Awesome value. We're doing a summer sale right now all the way up to August 31st. September 1st, we'll go back to our regular price. But at that point, you're going to have a ton of NFL content, maybe some college football stuff in terms of betting. And then once we get into the NBA season, it is going to be the complete package. So really cool stuff going on over there. Thank you guys for supporting us. We're going to dive into these MMA picks here for UFC Fight Night, man. Bubs, who is your first pick on Price Picks?
Yeah, my first pick is a pretty confident one, man. I got Ricky Tercios or under 1.5 takedowns. He's more of a stand-up volume striker. He reminds me of smaller version of Tony Ferguson, inside and outside of the cage. Kind of a crazy guy, kind of a crazy striking style where you don't know what's coming next. With that being said, he's doesn't really have offensive wrestling. He's more of a grappler when it comes down to it. And if anything, Zahabi will probably try to take Tercios down on the mat. Tercios does have good jujitsu, but jujitsu and wrestling are two different things, man. Yeah, I don't see him getting two takedowns in this fight. I like the under here. I feel like it's a pretty safe, pretty straightforward play.
Yeah, I like that pick as well. We got Ronnie Lawrence at the top here for 4 takedowns as well. Going to be honestly a solid fight. I know some of these fights, don't present some of the wild factor that you get with a big name fight in a pay per view, but some of these fights are going to be amazing to watch, man. So don't sleep on this card. The next guy I want to get to is going to be in fight time. It's going to be David Onama here going against Garrett Armfield. I really like this fight. I'm going to take the over here, 8.5. The reason is, both these guys are fighting for something here. Onama kind of came in as a short notice kind of guy, and now Armfield's a short notice guy, super short notice. Onama fight, last time he fought, he impressed a ton of people. He looked really good out there, so now he's getting this fight. And I do think that these guys just got something to prove, and I think it's going to go the distance. And I think the best reason for this over is that these two actually fought before in an amateur fight, and that fight went the distance as well. Obviously different stakes here. People progress as fighters. People get better. However, with just the circumstances and the fact that both of these guys kind of want to make it in the industry, I'd imagine. It's just I'd imagine no one's going to take big swings here, but who knows? But I'm pretty confident in the fact that the card, and especially with Price Picks, just always giving us like tight lines when it comes to MMA stuff. I really like this over 8.5 for fight time.
Yeah, yeah, well said, Dell. I mean, I had a couple picks earlier on in the week for prize picks for takedowns. I like the Borello takedowns at 1.5. They moved it to two on me. So I mean, you do got to get a little bit earlier in the for prize picks in the week if you really want to get a good line. You really do have that capability over at prize picks. So don't be sleeping.
Well, typically for UFC, like you mentioned before, stuff just switches all week. When these lines come out on Sunday, it everything can just swing. So I would definitely hop over if you're a UFC fan, get into these bets and whatnot early. But speaking of lines, speaking of bets, let's dive over to your slide over here, Bobs. Let's give your picks here for the fight night, man. We got a single one that's positive money, and then we have a two-leg parlay. Who do you like here?
Yeah, gonna give you two picks here for free. If you want some other picks, you gotta have to go check out the Patreon, man. But for the two picks here, I like over 2.5 rounds on the Douglas Age Andrade and the Saeed Nurmagomedov fight. Um, Andrade is just so durable. I mean, we seen in that last fight versus Morozov. Morozov was throwing everything and but the kitchen sink at him, and he still didn't go down, man. Um, And Saeed, he's a very impressive fighter, but I feel like he's got that Nurmagomedov name. He's a little overhyped. Not saying that he's not talented, but I don't know if he has enough in him to get Andrade out of there unless it's a submission. That's the only way I really seeing it happen. But I like the over here and at plus money, man. That's a good stab to take, man. And for my second play, it's probably the safest play on the card. These guys should win and should win easily, honestly. Like I was saying earlier, Saeed, talented. He should win a decision easy, in my opinion. So I'm going to take him to win straight up, parlayed with Caio Borello. I mean, this guy is very impressive. In his last fight, in his debut, made a very good impression on everybody. A very intriguing guy as well. I mean, it's not every day you see a jacked guy with tattoos and glasses. A very interesting character. I like to see these guys win, and they both should win pretty easily. I mean, and honestly, if you look at this card, there's a lot of traps everywhere, a lot of risky plays, and this is going to be one of those cards where you got to hit underdog plays, got to hit props, got to dodge some landmines, and I think these are probably the two fighters that should win no matter what. So I'm taking them both parlayed minus 128 should be a home run, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think two great picks here. Just that single bet at plus 114 over on FanDuel Sportsbook. Amazing value. But also, kind of look at the fine print here. Minus 128 on DraftKings Sportsbook for that. I guess you can probably shop around and see what you can find. I know it's like minus 144 on FanDuel Sportsbook. Depending on where you play, you never know. You can get a little bit better odds compared to some of these lines that we're finding over on just your traditional FanDuel and DraftKings. So shop around, man. I highly suggest. Obviously, Prize Picks, you're going to get what you get. Forgot to mention, if you do want to sign up for Prize Picks, make sure you use promo code Upstate. Match your first deposit all the way up to $100. Helps me out, helps you guys out a ton. I think it would be awesome if you guys sign up using the code. Bubs mentioned the Patreon for $10. I talked about it in the beginning of the video. We're going to be doing some more UFC stuff. Reoz is cranking out MLB. NBA Summer League stuff is on the way over on the Patreon as well. Let's get cooked up for NFL season. Thank you guys for tuning in. Enjoy the fights this weekend. Stay safe. Peace out, guys.